Hello everyone to a new YouTube video by me, DavDav Building. Today I have a new base built for all those people who said the triple floor stack bases are too unpractical, which is why I will call this base the Redemption. But as always, we're going to begin with a tour of the base. In the entrance we have an airlock as well as some windows to give us vision to the front of our base. As always in my bases we have a reinforced window dropbox room and a ladder hatch leading up to our second story entrance. Beginning with the left garage door, we follow the first part of our shooting floor, which isn't great, but it should be enough to give some online protection. Now using the right garage door, we get to the other part of our shooting floor, which if you want can be increased in size. The center garage door will lead us to our core, which will be sectioned off into two using these reinforced windows. To make getting through them easier, I would advise you to put down small or large boxes next to them. In these squares we have our space for workbenches, beds and other stuff, as well as two triangles embedded into the honeycomb, which you could use for furnaces. On both sides we have a chute, which on the left leads us to our Unlootable Lootroom, which if you don't know how to build it, I will link to it right now in the top right corner. On the right side we would have our floor-stacked unlootable TC room, for which there will also be a link to a tutorial on how to build it right now. This was it with the tour, now let's get into building. For the first building process we are going to begin by triple floor stacking, on which I will upload a tutorial this Friday. When placing these walls there shouldn't be any visible gap. To check if you did it correctly, you can build the three foundations around a triangle and place walls on all of them. If all of that works, you should be fine. But as always, to give some overview, we are going to build out the footprint like this. Getting the highest foundation into place will be hard, should only require a bit of testing. This base won't be able to be built from a starter purely by the constraints that triple floor stacking gives us, so building this base will be a bit more over the place than my normal videos. This is the footprint on which I will mark now what will be where to make it easier to understand. Beginning with the core, we are first going to build the TC room, which if you don't know how to build, watch the tutorial video I made on it. Next to it we're going to add the Unlootable Lootroom. These are going to be separated from splash damage by using another armored wall on the front and back. Building out the front, we will begin by covering the armored in one layer of metal. We're going to build out another triangle in order to fit our airlock onto the base. A regular 2 single door airlock, as well as our view to the outside and a dropbox room will be added here. Around our entrance, we will build a lot of windows in order to give us vision to the outside, so that it is harder to door camp us. Now we will be completing the ring around the core using sheet metal walls. The rest of the foundations will be covered in stone walls like this. Beginning with the second floor, we will be adding in our floors as well as sectioned off triangles embedded into the honeycomb. To build our chutes, we are going to cover in the floor frames using walls. In front I will place garage doors, but you can use anything from single doors to window frames. Sectioning off the base, using the window frames, we will now be able to add the second layer of floor onto our core. It wouldn't be a DavDav video if I wouldn't constantly make mistakes, so here we have one. These windows should be shop fronts with metal frames. Behind the ladder edge there should be a sheet metal wall. Now we will be adding one layer of stone floor onto our honeycomb. Adding double door frames like this, as well as window frames around each side of the base, we will have our shooting floor. Make sure that where the two sides of the base meet in the back, you will add walls like this. Between the entrance to our core and the entrance to our base, we will be placing a lot of garage doors. The next mistake is this double door frame, which needs to be a full sheet metal wall. All double door frames I am placing here should be filled in with garage doors, but can also be filled in with sheet metal double doors if you don't have enough gears or don't have the blueprint for garage doors yet. Now we will be adding the floor above our base out of stone, but the floor above the core will be double layered using floor stacking and made of metal. Upgrading the door frames, which will look out to the outside, to metal can be useful. Placing extra floors on top can be useful to stop people from being able to look inside of your base. I would always advise you to fill in your window frames that make up your shooting floor with either embrasures or metal window bars. These are 4 rockets each, so during a raid they won't be a weakness, but you always need to remember that you can shoot rockets through them, splash damaging both the window and what's behind it, and that people can spear out a wall or floor through these gaps using spears. In the core we need to add our double ladder hatches to the chutes, as well as upgrade this floor to armored and the ones next to it to metal. This is the upkeep of the base. It isn't something special, but I would say that it is pretty solid for a base of this size. Now into raiding this base, we will raid it from the back, where we'll shoot out 3 layers of stone for 4 rockets each. After that we will rocket a metal wall for 8 rockets. This will reveal our unlootable loot rooms. These will take 13 rockets each and some hits from a jackhammer to raid. This totals 46 rockets, which is the cheapest way that I found to raid this base. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe. Still only 80% of you guys watching are subscribed. Until next time, later!